and welcome along and welcome back to Marwell Manor Farm. It is what is going to be, for now at the very least, our final video on this series. We're currently filling up our rented trailer with silage, so we're going to be selling a bit more of that because we have, we have 300,000 left in the storage. We want to take that down a little bit further. We're going to be doing some work with our sheep today because our sheep need a little bit of work. And yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to start off with this. We have got rain coming in today, so not really much scope for field work to be done. So yeah, it's really, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be finishing things off, taking stock of where we are, looking at how we did on our first year, and going, yeah, that's where we're going to leave it. Now, what I will do is, because I know several people watching this would like to see it continue, so I thought, let's let you guys continue it. I am going to make this available. Make the save game for this available. It will be in the description below if you want to download it. It's all standard equipment on here. There's nothing customized that I've done or anything like that. So that will be available for you guys. So if you do want to continue the game on here, then you can. Right, I want to turn this so that this loads up the other trailer. There we go. And we'll bring that in, and then that will load up our grain trailer. Perfect. There we go. So we'll go and tip this down at the BGA. And as I said, we're going to be doing some work with our sheep today as well. They need feeding and clearing out. We've sorted their water. Now, the one thing that that we didn't get last year out of them that we will get this year, and if you want to continue that, is we should get a much better amount of wool off them, because we started with them fairly late last year. So yeah, this year they should pick up quite nicely and produce a good amount of wool. So the farm should make a nice amount, and I will be interested to see. For those of you who do download it and have a go, let me know how you do. Let us know in the Discord. Link to that is also in the description. And yeah, I'd like to see how your game continues for that. You will, of course, come in with and be called Virtual Farmer in here as well. So that's one of those interesting things. So yeah, let's get this up to the BGA. We'll tip this. Now, it should be that this clears before we get back. What we're going to do is I'm only going to tip this one load for now. We've got, as I said, we've got another load. We don't really want to tip more than 3 loads. I don't want to take it really below 200,000. But the farm is all primed. The farm will be all primed to get the cows on. You've got no debt. There should be about 100,000 in the bank after moving past this this in-game day, and it'll be good. It's not using any geo. It's just the standard seasons geo that we have on here, and yeah, should just be a really great place for you to be set up and continue from. So let's bring this round here. Ooh, the brakes are not that hot. There we go. And we will tip this. And while this is tipping, we're going to head back. So there we go. So we're going to head back to the farm now. And into here, because we need to get this started up. Now, this tractor does need repairing. So we're going to try and leave everything in a good state as well. Most of the mods on here are from the mod hub. There's a couple of exceptions, being the... Nope. Drop that off. There we go. Being the windrower over there. That That comes from Yes Mods, I believe. If you can't find it, then replacing it with a standard wind mirror shouldn't be too difficult. It's, oh yeah, such a wet day for us to finish on. But our sheep do need some hay. They won't be, they'll need some hay because we won't be good for grass for a little while. As you can see, the grass, having come out the winter, is still low. But we do have a little bit of grass to clean up in their shed. I do like on this map that to clean up the grass, you do actually have to come into the sheep paddock. It's not something that's that just exists in the feeding area. It's something that you actually have to clean in the paddock itself. We put that in, and then we can look at what the feed level of our sheep is like. They were on red before we started. So yeah, a bale of hay will sort them. They're nice and clean now as well. And looks like our is our trailer full? No, our trailer isn't full. Now this keeps doing this for some reason. We'll try it again. There we go. I think that's got it sorted. Yeah, that's going now. So let's take this back. We'll switch this around and go and get our bale spike, which is up in our other shed, and clear that out. And summer, early spring, is one of those days where there's not a huge amount for us to do. It's just sort of getting things prepared, getting things ready, and cleaning up, and sort of getting into the second year. That is not the front loader tool that I wanted. That will work with bales, of course, but I'm not after that. I am after the one that's up the top. There we go. I have moved our header trailer back in under the shed. It was it had moved a long way out, and I'm hoping we see a fix for that soon. Especially as I'm planning to possibly do a map with a very, very large. Where is that? With a very, very large setup. I'm gonna want 2 of those class combines for that. Right, I do not know where I put that tool. Let's have a look on the map. I'm reckoning it's down there. That is our subsoiler. Oh, there it is. So it's down there somewhere. So it's down at our other shed. That's the thing I find. Because on this farm I've never really given myself a general place to put tools. I see it. It is nice and red and sticking out. I tend to lose them. So yeah. And we do have a pressure washer here as well, which I'd completely forgotten about. So let's head back over this way and grab ourselves a bale. Now we want to be careful. I want to leave it a couple of seconds. Allow our thing to go over the hour, because if we take one of these bales out inside as it clips over the hour, we'll lose capacity in the bale. So we'll give it a minute while it waits. And there we go. So that's clocked over to the next hour. And we're good. So we'll go tip this in, and that will get our sheep done and dusted. Oh, our bale has popped off. Now it does happen sometimes with the physics in farm sim. It just, yeah. It does funny things. There we go. Still got 4,000 litres, so that's all good. Let's get this down Okay. Why is this bale popping off? Then we're going to have to take it end on from where it is now. It really does not want to stay on. If it was just flying off, that would be one thing. That is properly popping off. And that is actually now more stably on that. So let's take this over here and put it into the feeding area. And that hasn't fully fed. Oh, that has fully fed our sheep. How much is left? 100 litres of that is left. In this rain, that is likely to disappear fairly quickly, to be honest. Unless we can get it under some cover. I wonder if the trigger is enough to get it under there. So we'll put it under there like that, and that should be good. Right, so this is full at this trailer, so we need to get our other tractor back. Doing pretty well, actually, to be honest. I'm quite happy with where we're going to be leaving this. Oh, yeah, we need to go and get this tractor repaired. So we're going to repair this tractor up this way on this really, really wet spring day. There we go. So get this repaired. Wow, we'll repair everything actually. And repair that as well. 799. So that is all good. And turn this off because we're done with that. And we'll bring this back. So yeah, it should be a good amount of money that we get from running just the 3 loads. We will return this hired trailer today. But yeah, from 3 loads we should do pretty well. And just sort of gives you an idea of where you are. So we're looking at leaving the farm with 100,000. We will go through the night, set it up for 7 AM the next morning, just so you guys can see how much we have. It is, as I said, it is primed to either add the pigs or add the cows. I don't think we own the pig farm at the moment. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think we do. And so, yeah, be primed to, certainly primed to start on the cows. There should be enough money there to get that started, and always borrow a little bit to actually buy the cows. I always think it's good to do that in game. If you want to borrow money to invest, you'll probably make more than you'll pay in the interest, or will almost certainly make more than you pay in the interest if you were to borrow it to buy cows or something like that. I always think it's good to borrow money only to cover investment in the game. So if you're borrowing money to buy a tractor, that's not a good idea. Simply because at any point, if you want to sell that tractor, you're going to lose money on it. Whereas if you do it to buy a field, you know you can get the money back to buy the field from the selling the field and make the money back there. If you do it for animals, you know you're going to make the money on the animals, unless you make a mistake with them and in seasons kill a load of them. You should be all right. So that is sort of how I approach things now. In game, and how I'm looking to approach start from scratch. Right, let's open this up. There we go. Switch over. Disconnect. And then we can connect up to the other one. So very much doing the same job as we were last time, but this is worth quite a bit of money to us to do this. Oh, wow. This is either going to make this flip out. Nope. It wasn't great for the for our conveyor, but it at least did let us pick the trailer up. Let's move this back. And yeah, you can see I've got this issue with my I think it's with my side panel. And the extender is just working all the time. Right, we want to go tip this and get that done. And our fields are actually in a pretty good state for us to do. We've got. So what we were going to do is we were going to put oats into this field here. That would be a massive amount of bales off that field. We had a lot off field 15. That is just there's just going to be a ridiculous amount of bales off field 18. Field 15 was going to be corn, or possibly field 19 was going to be corn. Which would have been, I'd be very tempted actually to have gone silage with that as a result. Because there is more than enough hay bales there at the moment. So yeah, another 45,000 litres up to the BGA. Get this sold as well. And then one more load after that. Gives us about, I think it gives about 80,000. Doing 3 loads like this. We certainly didn't take as much as we'd expected to last time. I've enjoyed this map. This map is absolutely brilliant map. I love Marwell Manor. It's a map that very early on I wasn't very enthused about. I wasn't overly enthusiastic about this map. As I've played it more and more, I've fallen in love with it. I've come to like it more and more, and yeah. I think it's a great map. Especially it's a wonderful map that I've been able to play and reach this. To reach a position after a year in seasons, after 24 episodes, where I'm able to have money coming in, more money coming in than we had going out. You know, that is really quite something. Rarely do I get a map where I am this successful. So yeah. It's been wonderful from that point of view. We've made a really, really decent amount of money off here. There we go. And in doing so, I've enjoyed doing it. And I've enjoyed playing with the class stuff. This is not the last time I'll be playing around with stuff from the Platinum Edition, of course. It's probably the last time I will be using the Platinum Edition quite so extensively like this, though, in a single map. I mean, we did basically say, right, we're going to restrict ourselves to the Platinum Edition where the Platinum Edition has something available. So that's and that has actually been interesting in that it's meant that we've had to spend more money than we would have liked sometimes. And looking at doing that, you know, in year 2, I was looking at getting a forage wagon. Now, there's a forage wagon in the Platinum Edition, so it has to be that forage wagon. It can't be one of the others. Yeah, situation like that is a really interesting way to play it, to restrict ourselves to that. Right, we are going to get this back. We're going to take one more load down, and then we'll move on to the next day because, yeah. That will be us done. It has been, as I was saying, it has been really enjoyable on this map. This is the second time I played it, once without seasons and once with seasons. We have been more successful playing it with seasons this time, and it's just gone down well. It's just worked really, really well for us. Admittedly, we had more money to start with this time because we did this in New Farmer and sold off the initial equipment. and allowed us to get the farm we wanted, really. I think my my one thing I would say about this, even now, is that I really would have liked to have had the ability to sell some of these buildings, rather than having to go completely without the farm or completely with the farm. I would like to have been able to have just sold a couple of buildings and gone, right, I want to put something else up there. For example, up the top, I would like to have been able to have sold those 2 barns and put a hayloft up there, I think. They're not, those 2 sheds at the moment aren't overly useful to me. I mean, we've got bales in there, but I think it would have been nicer to have had a hay barn up there and sort of been able to move stuff about from that perspective. But, you know, that is... that's kind of how it goes. Right, we are going to back up to here. Lock that. Pull this forwards. Close it up. Got the roller going. And that's great. Right, let's go and tip this final load. And then we'll come back and we see where we are leaving this map for you guys to continue on if you want to. But very, very pleased with where we're leaving this series. In profit, debt-free, and happy. All right. Ooh, that is such a tight corner. I do like details like this, where we've got the road down the side of this field. Just adds so much to the character of these maps. Right, towards the shop for one more time. Can't believe how we got that stuff in just before midnight last year. Went really well. And round. Perfect. So yeah. There's a lot of this map that I still haven't explored. So like Field 5, I've never done Field 5 on here. And this is where I like the idea of contracts on maps. I end up exploring parts of a map I wouldn't otherwise explore. And I said that before in these videos. And why I love the contract system in Farm Sim. And I would love to spend one day enough time on a map just to own as many fields on it as I can. I mean, I've done it once. One map I've ever in a series managed to own the entire map. And the whole point of that series, in fairness, was to do just that. And that was Ballincraig. Ballincraig, the whole point of that series was to own the whole map. It's just, there we go. And yeah, if I could do that again, that would be awesome. But so most of these maps are too big to do that. You get to a point where you accelerate though, where you're earning so much from the amount that you get in on a map that you're able to just have a harvest and buy the next field. And then of course you make enough later to then have a harvest and buy the next couple of fields and things like that. And it just gets to the point where it's easier to buy stuff and increase your farm. And getting to that level in game, that does take a lot of time. But you know, that is the beauty of it. If you can get your farm to that kind of level, that is when you're doing really, really well at this game. And I've never seen anybody do it, actually. I've never seen anybody sort of go that length. I think that would take a lot of time playing the game to do that. And I mean, I have 2,000 hours, but the trouble is that I keep hopping between maps as a result of wanting to keep things fresh for you guys. And plus, there are some awesome maps out there. And it's just, yeah, just absolutely incredible. I think FS21, we are going to do, we're probably going to try a start from scratch or something like that in the live streams and just see how far we can get with it. How much money we can make as quickly as we can make it. And just apply as many tactics as we can to do that. I think that is going to be, I think that will be an absolutely brilliant way to approach a start from scratch in that. We are getting back to our farm. So what I want to do actually, before we get back, we're just going to drop this off. So in our garage, in our leased items, we've got the Bergman. So we will return that. We will leave the Grimmett, the two loaders there in case anybody wants to use those. But that has meant that we've got rid of the trailer off the back of this, and we can park this up and get ourselves through the night. So let's do that. Put our equipment all under here. Of course, this does, if you wanted to add a Xerion to this, you can borrow the money to add a Xerion to this at the moment. You know, there is that possibility. Having said everything I said about not borrowing money to put vehicles in, you know you're going to make enough money off Field 18 to pay for it pretty much. But there we go. Right, so disconnect this. Disconnect our PTO. There we go. Park this up. And we'll send this through the night to 6 AM. I have accelerated the time so that we're already heading along to that. We will just check on our sheep. So our sheep are in good condition. We don't have any other animals at the moment. We'll hop over here. And there we go. We should be able to go through the night now. So we'll go 13 hours. You always tell when the lights come on in the house, that is when you can sleep. So sleep through to the next day. Should start us at about 6 AM. 37,000 off the biogas plant. So that will give 37,097 in the bank. But yeah, there we go. That is where we are. We are finished on Marwell Manor Farm. It is sunrise on the second day of spring. Have a check in the description if you want to download this map and continue on this save game. Please do. But we are done on Marwell Manor for now, which means that all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video and this series. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.